A win is a win is a win. The Detroit Lions win their home opener, ironically, for the second year in a row, and they held their opposition to the same amount of points. Kansas City had 20 last year. The Detroit Lions had 21. This year, the Detroit Lions had 26 to the Rams 20, getting that overtime win, absolutely cramming it down the Detroit Lions' throat. But with that being said, I have to shout out Motor City Mania. David Pike is a real one. If he sees something that he doesn't like, he's going to let you know. The same with me. Not a lot of, and I'll shout out another guy too. Spirit of Detroit podcast. He also will keep it $150. Not a lot of people do that. A lot of people like Bubbles and Rainbows, Tickling Fancies, and all that stuff. I know it annoys y'all that I'm proud of that, but I am. I do wear it as a badge of honor because it is difficult to be the outsider in this situation. With that being said, the Detroit Lions defense is a work in progress. It has all the makings of being better than it's been the last 3 years. I think it will be better, but it is a work in progress. These dudes have never played together. Yesterday was the first time that this defensive unit played in a real game. Terrion Arnold, Carlton Davis, Rakestraw, Marcus Davenport, Aiden Hutchinson, and we still are missing DJ Reader. We hope to see him on Sunday against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With that being said, they've got all the potential in the world, and according to Aaron Glenn and Dan Campbell, we have a darn good defense. And we're waiting to see that. Yesterday, not so much. Got out to held the offense first half to 3 points. 3 points, all right? Eventually, the score was 17-3, and then we wind up giving up 17 points. Now, it's only so much you can put on the offense, who was totally out of sync yesterday. The defense has to take some liability. But we got the victory, which is, at the end of the day, matters. Dan Campbell said, whoever wins is the team that makes one less mistake, and that was the Detroit Lions yesterday. You know what you can put it on? If you want to pick something, the Kirby Joseph interception. The first time that Matthew Stafford has faced the Detroit Lions and thrown an interception. But the reason that I'm talking about that, and I had to go through that whole 2-minute introduction, is because we're going to look at, according to PFF, y'all live and die by PFF. I'm not that impressed. I just think they throw a bunch of numbers in a bucket, and sometimes when they come out with these numbers, it's like, how? How did you come up with this? A guy could have a great game on paper, but whatever mathematical formula they use makes it like this person had a 0 when they were probably one of the best players on the team. So I just don't put a lot of faith and stock in that stuff, but I know you guys do. And I think in this case, it does kind of equal their grade, or their number one graded Lion. I think it does equal that. I think he had the best game, in my opinion, on defense, even though it didn't relate to sacks. And what am I referring to? Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson. This is coming from SI. Shout out to those guys, because I know PFF is a paid subscription. To see a lot of the deeper stuff, you got to pay for a subscription. And shout out to those guys, because they obviously do that. It says, against the Rams in week 1, Hutchinson took advantage of his primetime opportunity. He was the highest graded player by PFF with a 94.0 and notched 1 sack amongst 11 total pressures. Now, in comparison, his counterpart, Marcus Davenport, had 6, while defensive tackle Levi Onwuzurike had 5 in total. The Lions pressured Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford 27 times. And now so if I'm not mistaken, the Detroit Lions had the highest pressure rate, or very close to it, in 2023. Aiden Hutchinson led the league in total pressures. Again, if I'm not, I think I remember that correctly. Don't, because I know y'all be in the comment section, but if I'm wrong, correct me. That's fine. But I just want to put it out there. And with those 27 total pressures, all right, we got 1 turnover and 2 sacks. Marcus Davenport had half a sack. Levi had the other half a sack. So it's fitting that the 3 Detroit Lions that had the most pressures also are the only ones that got sacks. No mention of Aleem, no mention of Chris Smith. Right? So Aiden Hutchinson already with 11 total pressures, and he got 1 sack, and that sack did not come until the end of the fourth quarter. It essentially made sure that Stafford couldn't pull anything off. Stafford kind of just dropped down because he knew he wasn't going to win that fight. Hutch came, finally was not being held, got around it, and got the tackle. But that's why I'm so big on actually getting the quarterback down, because you got 27 pressures between 3 individuals, okay? We had, as a matter of fact, 6-5. So he was pressured 27 times. Hutch was 11. Davenport was 6, so that's 17. Levi was 5, so that is 22. So there was 5 pressures that came from other players. But yet, Matthew Stafford was able to tie the game up. We went into overtime. Now, I know the retort in the comment section is going to be the quickness of the time that he got rid of the football. And okay, cool. You can use that. There were several times that Matthew Stafford also was either missed from getting a sacked, like he was going to get sacked, but he got missed. He either stepped up in the pocket or they just whiffed, including Aiden Hutchinson, just whiffed, right? In that middle of the field. And it's kind of telling that the middle of the line, I don't know if Levi, I think Levi was playing in the middle mostly, but it was like Aleem, where was he at? I just don't remember his name being called that much. So we've got to get people on the ground, or we have to at least make contact with the passer, because that can lead to a fumble or a turnover. We've seen it. We saw it with Will Levis yesterday, right? So I'm okay with a fumble. I'm okay with a quarterback hit where he doesn't fumble, but he throws a duck, and it's an easy pick for the defense. So I'm not impressed with, I've never been like, oh, PFF is, whatever they say is, because sometimes it's just like, how did they come up with these numbers? So speaking of numbers, these are the highest graded defensive or offensive players for the Detroit Lions. Let's see. Running back David Montgomery had 86.6, Jamison Williams 83.4, Graham Glasgow 82.2, Penei Sewell 78.9, and Frank Ragnow 70.3. Lowest graded offensive players: Khalif Raymond 54.9, St. Brown 51.1, Parker Hesse 47.2, Brock Wright 47.1, Jared Goff 43.2. Goff didn't have his best game. He didn't have his best game, but the lowest offensive player, I don't get that. But all right. Highest graded defensive players. We've got Aiden Hutchinson, who also was the highest on the team. Alexander Zaloni, 79.0. Derek Barnes, 77.1. Kirby Joseph, 72.1. And quarterback Carlton Davis, 68.4. I have no idea. Oh, here we go. Lowest graded defensive players: Terrion Arnold, 57.8. Jack Campbell, 57.8. Mekhi Wingo, 57.0. Brian Branch, 55.2. And Kyle Pecco, 54.0. And that's, listen, I'm sure they got some type of magic formula that they type in, but I'm like, listen, I'm going by who making plays. And Branch was making plays. Arnold was making plays. Guys were making plays. So whatever method they come, and that's why I just can't put much stock into it. It's the same way that y'all hear me like, oh, Derek, it's not all about sacks, pressures and get turnovers on. It's the same thing. It's the same thing to me. How are these guys made plays, right? So that's what I care about, is making plays. I'm not whatever magic formula that they put in. I would love to know. I know that these guys are on Locked On Lions a lot, but I'm just like, what? Anyway, so PFF to me is just a bunch of numbers. That's all it is, right? I go by the eye test and what I see. And what I see is that a lot of these guys that were low rated, I don't think Jared Goff deserves the lowest rated. Lowest rated on offense was Jared Goff. Like there was nobody on offense worse than him. Even Vaki, who came out there that I saw one play, he doesn't have a lower ranking, or a lower grade, so I don't know. I have no idea. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Aiden Hutchinson, he's picking up right where he left off last year. We are predicting double-digit sacks with at least 15. He's definitely going to have more than he had last year. It would be phenomenal if he could combine the 2 years, 9.5, 11.5. What is that, 21 in total, right? And get at least 21 sacks. That would be fantastic. That would definitely be Defensive Player of the Year territory. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below about what did you see from the eye test, and what do you feel about PFF lowest offensive and defensive grades. To me, it's like score predictions. Like, they're just dumb. Just dumb. I don't know what the score is going to be. 17-5. It doesn't make any sense to me. You don't know what the score is going to be. So anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I will spare you the green gridiron promo. You guys have seen 2 videos today. I will spare you this time, but they're basically stacking discounts. If you are looking for a mini helmet or something along the lines of a helmet, you guys for a limited time can stack the green gridiron and my code as well. They got a discount happening and you can stack it with mine. So when I said spare you, I meant the whole, bringing in the helmet, then I bring in the website, all that stuff. You already know the deal. This channel is brought to you by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. We hit 22,000. So over the past month, I think we've covered 1,000. My goal is 30K by the end of the season, and you guys are helping me reach that goal. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.